Well, good morning. After a long day yesterday, flight delays, it was a tough day. A 4-hour trip took 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 hours. I left my house 4 a.m. Didn't get to South Bend till midnight. Bad day to fly. It was a rough day to fly. So we're picking up this nice big old Jayco Super C. This will be my first Super C, so that'll be interesting. Be fun to drive, I guess. My last couple loads, the video wasn't worth a flip, so I didn't bother uploading it. But I did have a couple things I was going to go over with you later on. I did have a claim on one of my second to last load. Just to be, as I was saying before my battery went dead, to be transparent about everything about the claim. I think Horizon has, I'm walking back here because I don't like talking when people are driving around. Horizon been pretty good about it. At first it kind of worried me because they follow me around. I don't know, they seem like they give me my money, you know. I didn't quite have my damage waiver all the way up to $1,500. They sent me a bill for $1,000. But then when I talked to somebody, he said, "Oh, that's just auto-generated. We'd be glad to help you, work with you, whatever you need to do." And he said the claim may not even come back that much right now. It wasn't but $700. And they even tried to work with it because, they said if it was just normal road hazard that they wouldn't charge the driver. He said, but we looked at it, and I'm going to be honest with you, the only thing I can think of on that trip was I was in a construction zone where you got the concrete barrier on one side and a guard, one of those metal guards on the other, and picked up an alligator, and I heard it clunk, 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 and it didn't even really cross my mind. I just thought it stayed under. And I showed up at a Love's, got out, had to run to the bathroom, come back in, and when I come back from the bathroom, I always walk around the unit either when I stop at a truck stop or when I get back in. And I seen the damage behind the back wheel, and I'll show some pictures. I did take some pictures, some videos of that, and I'll show that. And it looked like I drug it on something. I'll be honest with you. It looked like it was my fault. I have no idea. I don't recall it touching anything. I don't know. If it's my fault, I have no idea when it happened. So anyway, that claim against me lost my safety miles, which I only had a couple thousand anyway, so I didn't lose much there. But got my first claim against me, but we still rolling, we still trucking. So I asked dispatcher, I said, "Well, they gonna fire me?" He said, "No, pick up your next load, let's go." So that was good. That all worked out so far. If it changes in the future, I'll let you know, but as of right now, all that seems to be pretty good. So we're picking up this load, picking up this Super C, headed down to San Antonio, Texas with it. I was going to kind of show how late I showed up at the North Goshen yard. That's what this is. If y'all haven't been to the North Goshen yard, they've got everything out here. They got the multi-haulers, the towaways, the driveaways, just about everything out here. Seems like this is where the majority of stuff is. I've come here out of my 5-6 loads I've done. This is one I've come to the most. I went to Wakarusa. My first load was out of Wakarusa. Then I hauled those couple loads out of Decatur, and then the other 3, I guess, or whatever it is, come out of here. But we're gonna walk around here. I haven't done anything yet. Haven't put a license plate on it. Haven't walked around it. Hadn't done. I just put my suitcase. Let me flip you around here. Alright, yeah, all I've done is just put my suitcase in. Now I've got to get everything, so I've got everything kind of laid out on the steps here. I got the plates, the placards, got my paperwork and everything out. So I didn't even walk by, I didn't even look and see how the license plates were on. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm just going to put the rear plate on. So far, everything I've hauled had a little set of screws in them. So let's see what this one has. Yes, it's got a little set of screws. So this is definitely boring footage here, but when I was first getting started, when I was looking into it, thinking about getting into driveway, I would watch footage like this because I would want to know how things are normally done. So for the majority of people, they're going to care less about putting a license plate on, but for somebody thinking about doing it, they're going to want to know, well, what do I have to do when I get there? And that's really what these videos are for. It's for people that are thinking about it or just getting started, because that's pretty much me. I've only had this is my number 6 load, I believe, and so I'm fairly new at it myself, still learning. You can carry a screwdriver on a airplane. So there we go. Got the license plate on it. I would just put the front license plate in the windshield, but I'm gonna look just to see if there's a place for a front license plate. It's just dirt. Oh, I am learning to look though, I promise you that. Oh yeah, okay, this is the first one that I have seen. And I'm sitting here as I'm taking this screw out, I'm thinking of all kinds of reasons not to do this. Matter of fact, I'm not going to do it. Number one, a lot of times once I get out of Indiana, I don't even worry about the front license plate. That's just a lot of trouble. And you be careful when you're walking around with screwdrivers. So I'm just going to put the license plate up here in the front windshield. I'll come back later and put a piece of tape on it. And that's all I need a screwdriver for, and it's about to make me paranoid walking around with it. I'm going to hit the side of this RV. Alright, so let's now I've got some blue tape up here. That's what I secure my signs with. I should be able to put this sign back here and it'll be out of the way. And a lot of times, let me see how well I can see that from outside. See the USDOT number pretty good. That's pretty solid right there. I think I'll just leave the tape off rather than taking a chance of getting anything on the windshield. So we got a sign on the door. Yeah, it's kind of hiding it a little bit, but I believe it'll be okay. Same here, I'll just stick my sign. It should be out of the way right there. I took that kind of low, but when I get in, I'll straighten it out. I cannot hardly look at this with it up here in between these other RVs. So, all right, so I'm going to look over it and for damage, for any kind of scratches before I even get in it. Plastic cover is kind of tricky. Look at that front cap. The last one I hauled, see, it's like this. The last one I hauled had a piece of molding that was loose, and I didn't say anything. Like, well, I was just making a comment. It looked like they could have done a lot better job of putting these things together, which that's definitely in a lot of cases. Oh, it's just dirt. I get to where I look pretty good now, definitely. I was saying that last load I hauled had a little piece of molding that didn't look right, but I just looked at it. I didn't write it down. The time I got there, the little piece of molding was coming off. I'm like, oh great, and I didn't make a note of it. The receiver, I showed it to him as soon as I got there. I said, that molding was coming off. She said, I know. They can't put molding on for nothing. So they didn't write that up. They knew it was them. So far, everything's looking good. I mean, this is my first Jayco. I haven't hauled a Jayco yet, but I have been involved in the camping world, and I know Jayco on their high-end products are fairly well built. Now they have cheap products also. So all right, so I think on everything that I can tell is looking good. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull it on out so that I can see it out here in the open. Alright, so I decided they park these things what I consider to be pretty close. So here's all the goodies. It's like stuff they tell you, make sure you got the owner's manual. And they put a copy of it. Here is a set of keys. All this was just sitting right in the driver's box. Sometimes it's like a Easter egg hunt, trying to find where they put stuff. Now that looks like a nice seat. I hope it's as comfortable as it looks. Alright, let's see if this thing's gonna start. Alright, sounding pretty good. Got the computer going through the thing. Says,
1/8 of a point.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Ooh, okay.
Are y'all having fun? Y'all like this game?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. This song is called Free Sample.
3/4.
Alright, how you turn this off?
Okay.
Alright, so I turned that off. Learning all these different controls. I just knocked my head on this. That's pretty low right there. Alright, so we got air supply's low, but oh yeah. Crank her up. Get the air built up. Got the quarter tank. Most all these driveway units are supposed to have a quarter tank, and you are supposed to deliver them on a quarter of a tank. So I'm gonna let this air up. I'm gonna look over my paperwork, make sure I'm not forgetting anything, and we'll see what's next. Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull it out so I can take a better look at it once the air airs up. All right, guys, here's a look at it out in the sunshine. So I've got to get my camera out now and take some pictures and send all that good information in. Everything looks good. Alright guys, I gotta get my phone out, take some pictures and get that in, and we'll see you down the road.